Once again, we're here with Derek Warfield, the leader of the Young Wolf Tones, and he's going to tell us a little bit about, how the Young Wolf Tones came about and a little bit of history of the Wolf Tones themselves. How are you, Derek?
I'm not too bad at all, Tom. Well, as you probably know already, I founded the old Wolf Tones back in 1963, and we were together until 2001, and the band broke up. And after the band broke up, I did a lot of concerts on my own, and then a couple of years ago I formed this new band.
Am I fired? Am I fired?
Joe Franklin! You're never fired, Joe. What do you mean? You kidding me? Joe, we're just talking about the history of the Wolf Tones here. How are you today, Joe?
Right.
God, you haven't changed one bit. How you doing, Joe?
I need my underwear. Nothing changing.
All right, Joe.
I'll see you inside.
We're coming, Joe. We're coming.
Take your time.
All right, Joe. Well, listen, it makes the producer happy when the talent arrives.
Yeah.
No matter how much I drink, I can't be happy till the talent arrives.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so 1963 you started the Wolf Tones.
Yeah.
And when did you guys, break up a little bit?
2001, and then about 5 years ago, I formed this new band, and it was the purpose of it was really to bring together a lot of young people.
Thank you very much indeed, folks, and thank you indeed for your appreciation and your welcome. We're going to be on stage from now until 5 in the morning. Hands up all those who can stay. Hands up all those who want to go home early.
We were staying up till 5 in the morning.
We're all here to stay. And I would like to welcome you all here this evening, and this is the opening of the Bungalow Bar, and may it be here to provide entertainment and enjoyment for the folks of Rockaway for many, many years to come. Let's see you start off our show, and I hope tonight, boys and girls, we bring a little of Ireland into your lives and hearts here this evening. Let's see you sing with us, God Save Ireland. Swung the normal heart to three. I'm in the bench for tired and sticking in the doom. But they met them face to face with the college of their base. They went to exalt the dog to do their doom. God save Ireland, save the heroes. God save Ireland, save the all. Whether on the scaffold high or the man made me die, no matter where for Ireland here we go. The rocket stare and the lights is out of prayer. The England stay the corn and on the cast. Those peace and the gallows tree. It's like there is no unity. Took to home and freedom to the last. God save Ireland, save the heroes. God save Ireland, save the all. When you're on the scaffold high, or the battlefield we die. No matter when from Ireland here we fall.
Yeah, was Benjamin Franklin an ancestor of yours, no?
Well, the answer to that would be based on whether or not what his name was before he changed it.
What is your original name, Joe? If you want to give that
My
information.
name when I was born was Tom Regan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was many of us, Joe. I mean, me, you, and who else?
There couldn't have been two Tom Regans.
There's only 6 people in the paper that have the Regan name at all.
Yeah.
The rest of them changed it to Reagan when times were good.
There was a famous movie star named Phil Regan.
Yeah.
But what about Ronald Reagan, the man who, took everything the 60s had and threw it away in the 80s?
That's right.
But you had him on, didn't you have him on your show, Ronald Reagan, Joe?
5 times.
5 times?
Ronald Reagan, 5 times.
Was he selling Arrow shirts in those days?
I had him as president, but I had him on when he was running. No, he wrote a book called Where's the Rest of Me?
Yes.
Famous line in the movie King's Row.
Yes.
After the operation, he looks down and says, the legs are gone. He
Yes.
yells out, where's the rest of me? And I had him on later on. He told me that he auditioned for a job in the White House. He told me he didn't get the job, but later on he got the call back. He's a great guest.
That's a great line.
Very bright man.
Yeah. And I played last night down at Virginia Beach, and the guy that owns the Irish restaurant down there we played in, he was a petty officer on the Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier.
No kidding.
So he wanted to get some connection with Ireland, so we brought a replica of the aircraft carrier over to Ireland to present it to the place where Ronald Reagan was from, the town and the district.
Is that in Tipperary?
In Tipperary, yeah.
It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long way to home.
Tickle Mary.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I
So
think
you remember? You probably don't remember interviewing us before. It was in the studio in Secaucus.
Yeah, I remember, sure.
Yeah, and
I might even have the video. I'll look for it someday.
what?
Were you one of the singers?
I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'd love a copy if you can dig it
I'll
out.
look around. I really will.
Send one of your little leprechauns you have that does your filing system here.
you know. One day I was here with a bunch of people, and he was talking about a song. Yes, we have no bananas.
Yeah.
And the girl, he stood up, he went and found it in the pile, and the girl said it took him 2 minutes to find that. I said no, it took him 3 seconds to get up and get it. He knows what's going on here. Don't kid yourself. This is the sign of a genius here. You know, I mean, I used to tell my mother that when she came in and complained about my room. I said, Ma, this is a sign of genius. There's a lot going on here.
That's a nice photograph of you there in uniform. What?
It's Joe, Big Joe.
American War.
It's American War. It's not. It has to be your dad then.
And Dean Martin. They're plugging some charity event they were doing.
Sammy and Dean?
There was a charity event they were doing with Frank Sinatra. I tried many times, but not this time. It was just Sammy Davis and Dean Martin. So Sammy says on the camera, he says, Dean, I got a telegram for you from your wife. So Dean Martin says, yeah, really? He gives him the wife. He says, Dean, read it to the audience on camera. Dean says, really? He says, yeah. So, all right, so he reads, Dear Dean, not getting any better. Come home soon. Sam says, no, he put the period in the wrong place. He says, Dear Dean, not getting any better. Come home soon. Think that. And you remember that line from 20 years ago.
Wow.
Is that uncanny? And I forgot that line. I might have the tape. I did 28,000 shows. I saved maybe 500 out of that. 28,000.
I know they love you in Rockaway. I told them you were coming. They didn't believe it. And they said, he's coming down. I said, yeah. They got on the cell phones, the Twitters, the Facebook, the MySpace. They were banging.
Yeah.
And you say you played at...
I played when I came to New York first in the early 60s. Rockaway was a very Irish neighbourhood, and we played out there in the bars, and we sung in the Beach Channel High School and in the old school. So a lot of the kids would have heard us performing when they were very young, and they enjoyed the music, the excitement in it. So it was, I'd have a very good following down there, and they play every year now in Breezy Point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Breezy, and so there's very few people down there that wouldn't know the Derek Warfield, the Wolf Tones. They, you know, and it's a very parochial community. I mean, I meet people down in Rockaway. I mean, that going into New York City is an event.
Oh yeah, you don't have to tell me. You know that George Carlin was conceived in Rockaway. You know that George Carlin, the comedian.
Yes.
He always said, "I'm a New Yorker." He says, "I grew up in White Harlem," and he says, "and I was conceived in Curly's Hotel in 1937 on 116th Street and Rockaway Boulevard."
Yes. Yeah. And you, yeah. I met a lot of rum runners out there too.
Oh yeah.
Where are you performing tonight there again?
Pardon?
Where are you performing tonight?
It's a new bar that we're opening, a restaurant on the seafront called the Bungalow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the official opening this evening, yeah. So I'll be singing singing away, singing my head off. Do you want me to sing a song?
Yes, I do. I would love you to.
I sing On the One Road.
Okay.
You know that one, don't you?
We're on the one road, sharing the one load. We're on the road to... Go ahead, you can do it.
We're on the one road, sharing the one load. We're on the road to God knows where. We're on the one road, it may be the wrong road, but we're together now, who cares? Northmen, Southmen, comrades all, Dublin, Belfast, Cork or Donegal. We're on the one road, we're singing along, singing the soldier's song. Though we've had our troubles now and then, now is the time to make 'em up again. Sure aren't we all Irish anyhow? Now is the time to step together now. We're on the one road, we're sharing the one load. We're on the road to God knows where. We're on the one road, it may be the wrong road, but we're together now, who cares? Northmen, Southmen, comrades all, Dublin, Belfast, Cork or Donegal. We're on the one road and we're swinging along, singing a soldier's song. Night is darkest just before the dawn. From dissensions Ireland is reborn. Soon we'll all united Irishmen make our land a nation once again. We're on the one road, we're sharing the one load. We're on the road to God knows where. We're on the one road, it may be the wrong road, but we're together now, who cares? Northmen, Southmen, comrades all, Dublin, Belfast, Cork or Donegal. On the one road and we're swinging along, singing a soldier's song.
Yeah! All right. Live. Yeah, Joe. All right. All right, Joe.
That was great.
Actually, I actually sang that song after 9/11. I was in the car with someone and I'm going, "Oh man, we're in trouble." I said, "We're on the run road together here."
That's right. Well, that's why it was written. That song was written to bring people together.
Yeah.
And in a time of crisis.
Mm-hmm.
It was written during the war in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And it was you probably call it a rallying song. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice song.
And it's really popular. It goes.
Remember Sir Harry Lauder?
Harry Lauder, yes.
He sang those kind of songs.
Yeah, he had a lot of songs like that. Harry Lauder was very popular. Yeah.
Who was Harry Lauder?
He was a guy, Scottish.
He was the highest priced vaudevillian in history.
Yeah.
His highest salary.
He sung music hall, vaudeville.
He sang Roman in the Gloaming.
That's right, yes, yeah.
Well, this is Joe Franklin. I want to tell you that I've been a very actively, fanatically ardent, fanatically pursuer and fan of the Wolf Tones for many years, and now there's a new group organized and featuring Derek Warfield, and they call themselves the Young Wolf Tones, and I've seen them, and we're very honored today to have Mr. Warfield in our studio, in my office here, in fact, and he's going to give you a sampling of what has been the reason that so many millions of people have bought thousands, hundreds of thousands of their CDs and record albums through the years. Without any further ado, I give you our very special guest of the evening, of the decade, Derek Warfield, singing one of his current numbers. Mr. Warfield.
I'm sure when I first came to Rockaway back in the 1960s, the McNultys were playing music, and the McNultys had played for over 2 generations here in New York. And I want to pay a tribute, indeed. I'd like to pay a tribute to our popular song tradition. The Irish people, whether they were here in New York, back home in Ireland, or in Australia, they love their Irish songs. So folks, let's see you join as we celebrate and pay tribute to Tommy Makem. Tommy popularized many songs and ballads, including this next one, and it's a song called Will You Go, Lassie Go.
thank you to Tom for bringing the two of us together after 25 years since we appeared at Joe's show. And I must say it was great. I tell you a funny story. Trying to get the lads out of bed to go out and do that and tape that show was some fun.
They were tired.
That's right. One thing about it, I'd say that Joe is probably the only late night host, apart from Donald O'Connor, that had us on TV in America over the years, and I want to thank him for it, because it was great exposure to us in New York back in the 80s, and you know better than any as a teacher that Joe Franklin is a great friend of the entertainment business and industry, and there'll be very, very few people that'll be able to match his legacy. Mm-hmm. I'd like to thank him and yourself, Tom, for bringing us together, and also like to remind you that I have, of course, one of the young wolf tones here with me in the studio.
Yes.
A beautiful young wolf tone.
Yes, she's the most famous banjo player in Ireland.
What's your name?
And Damaris Woods. Yeah.
Damaris Woods.
Yeah.
Damaris Woods. And Damaris is a music teacher. And she teaches, she's her own banjo band at home.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
She's 16 banjo players. And
Wow.
yeah, and we'll be sure now to send you a tape.
I hope you send me a CD. I want to play it on Bloomberg Radio. I'll play it all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd be delighted to do that. When we send you one, you'll enjoy the banjo. It's too bad we didn't bring it in with us, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, it's all short notice with us here, but we'll tighten things all up. Don't worry about it.
Banjovial lady.
Banjovial.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, Derek Warfield. Thank you, Damaris Woods, and thank you, our magician.
Yes.
How do you spell Damaris?
Damaris.
That's an Irish name, huh?
No, it's Greek. Actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Joe, you aren't you part Greek?
I'm half Scotch and half soda, right? I was born at a very early age. When I was born, something terrible happened. I lived.
Oh, Joe, I thought you said that about me one time.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there's another hot number coming in on Joe's line. Yeah.
Well,
I have to laugh.
Hey, Joe, how are you today? We have a new film coming up called Martin, Our Teacher. What do you think? How do you think this film's going to work out?
I've seen Martin, Our Teacher, produced and directed by Lee Dung Dung. Got some good friends of mine in that movie, including Simone. And I would venture to say it's riveting, it's exciting, it's a great movie. I think it's a contender for the Academy Award this year, and for many other awards, the Drama Desk and the Tony and the Emmy and the Grammy, and the Oscar, and I'm pretty sure it's going to win all those prizes. I mean, it's one of the best Oriental or non-Oriental films I've ever seen in my whole life, and I recommend it emphatically. It's called, what's it called again?
Martin, Our Teacher.
Martin, Our Teacher.
By the producer, Lee Dong Dong.
Lee Dung Dung. Very well done picture. I recommend it most enthusiastically. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want you to introduce now the producer, Lee Dong Dong.
Okay.
And maybe she can tell us a little bit why she's producing this particular film, and also you can tell us now where we can reach you if we need to reach you as well.
OK，提出了他想让你谈一谈你为什么来制作这个影片啊？是什么使你制作这个影片？怎么样可以跟你联系上
？OK， 您好，我是李东东，我是来自北京，我就是专门为这部影片而来的。
？She come from Beijing for this film.
我读了唐楼仪写的剧本，我们的马丁老师，当时我非常兴奋，也很感动。
She read my screenplay, Martin, Our Teacher, and she's very excited and very moved by the story.
这个故事讲述了一个爱和同情互助的故事，这个主题。
This story is about love, help each other, and sympathy, and yeah.
当时我就想，从纽约到马家坡，大概有几万里远，但是我们现在呢，有现代化的交通工具，可以轻而易举地跨过这个距离。
She thought from New York to all the way to that little village in countryside, it's so far away. But now we could take, can fly there much easier than before.
Yes. It sounds like a wonderful film, and you know, there's so many places in the world that Americans really need to come to understand. We don't have enough in our media telling us about the differences and the situations that we have in the world.
Yes.
So I think this will be an enlightening presentation. And the film's name again is Martin, Our Teacher?
Yes. And another reason is we think it's very, very important and very, for this film is this film is based on a true story, true person. This American stayed in countryside in China for 14 years, and every Chinese know him. And if you send him a letter with only his name, the letter will go all the way to his hand. But in the United States, nobody know him. So this is why we really hope American media will bring, spread this news to let Americans know this great people. And I think he shortened the gap, and he built a bridge his way to bring these two different cultures together. And most of all, this film is about love between American and this Chinese farmer student.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I was born in the